Hey everybody, welcome back. Being petty each day keeps the doctor away.
This message is for Tamika.
You can't be nice to your wife.
Oh my god!
I can play that game too.
This is the story of how I got divorced based off of a Walt Disney World burger. I was on vacation with my then husband, let's call him Ted, and my cousin Josh and his son Asa. So we were supposed to be having a great time. Obviously, it's like the happiest place on earth. But it definitely didn't feel like it, although Josh was completely unaware of it. But Ted was, to me, it's the backstory, for the years that we were married, and this whole situation was the catalyst for me to finally leave. Ted used to isolate me and tell me that I couldn't go out to eat with my dad because it was inappropriate. If I would text Josh past like 9 p.m., he would say that it's inappropriate to be texting your guy cousin at this time of night. And,
who gets jealous over male family members? Like, male friends is one thing, which is also very controlling, honestly, depending on the situation.
Kelsey's a friend. She's like my sis. But we did hook up though.
But like, male family members? The fact that you even think that that's inappropriate shows where your mind is. Like, it is all the way down in the gutter. It's in the sewage system at this point.
we decided that we were going to go out to eat at the Yak and Yeti restaurant at Disney World. We arrived at the restaurant and everything was good, and I decided to order this burger, the infamous burger, the Kobe beef burger, which now I'm a vegan, but I had ordered this burger, and Josh had decided to get like some tiki masala or something like that. And do you ever go to a restaurant and you immediately regret your decision? One thing about my cousin, he has no filter. So he is sitting there and he's looking at his food and he's like, man, my food doesn't look very good. I really wish I'd gotten the Kobe beef burger. That looks amazing, Juby. You know, just dropping hints, totally wanting a bite of my burger. So I can take a hint. And I was like, Josh, would you like a bite of my burger? So he said yes,
your
obviously.
man didn't like that, did he?
I didn't give him the burger for him to like take a bite out of or anything. I took a fork, I got a piece of the burger, and I gave it to my cousin Josh. The mood automatically shifted. Ted was like this the entire rest of the dinner. It was so uncomfortable.
Funny.
And
that is so
we
funny.
had no idea why he was upset. Like, he did not talk the rest of the dinner, which there were only 3 adults there, so it was
Be for real right
apparent.
now.
And just super uncomfortable. So finally we ended up paying, and he was so nice to the waiter. Like, he had been really mean to me and not looking at me, avoiding eye contact. But when the waitress brought the bill, he said, thank you so much. It was amazing. Like, being so sweet. And it annoyed me. I did say something a little sassy. Josh went to the bathroom and I said, like, you can be nice to the waitress, but you can't be nice to your wife? Like, what is going on? So the truth finally came out. He was upset that I gave a bite of burger to my cousin Josh and didn't offer it to my husband first, because that is disrespectful. And I disrespected him as the man.
Oh my god!
And it just escalated from there. He like wouldn't drop it. He was extremely upset. We were outside of the Yak and Yeti restaurant, and he was screaming at me, telling me that he was going to strand me in Florida and like throw all of my stuff out of the car. That way I would be stranded. The next day we arrived back home in Atlanta, where I was living at the time. And I told him that I was very concerned that he was willing to yell at me in front of my cousin's child, Asa, who was only like 2 or 3 at the time. And I just said, I am like not okay with you yelling at me in front of kids, you know, because that had always been a concern. I knew that I would never want that for my children. So I said how I was not okay with that.
I'm sorry, that is so up. This man is absolutely delusional. Mad at you and causes a scene at Disneyland because you didn't give him a bite of your burger first? How are you not embarrassed? That is like,
And I said, would you ever scream at me in front of children? And he said, if you deserved it. And I said, well, then I'm not gonna have kids with you. And that is when he me for the last time, and yeah, that was the incident that happened that finally made me get divorced. Now me and Josh, we always laugh about it, and we always say, you know, like, thank God this burger situation happened.
No kidding.
What if I had kids with this man? What if I was tied to this man for the rest of my life? And thank God that it worked out the way that it did.
Girly pop. First of all, I'm so glad that you're okay. I'm so glad that you got that burger. Oh man, like this burger changed your life. A life-changing burger in multiple senses of the word. And like, just to think, like, he did that to himself. If he didn't act like an absolute lunatic when you got that burger,
hamburger,
you might still be with him. And yes, you did get divorced over a burger. When I first saw
I got divorced because of a burger.
I thought it was like something so trivial. But like, wow, that burger really broke the camel's back. In what world is going to dinner with your dad inappropriate? Ted is crazy. Ted is a loony. He's a loony. The divorce was just part of the Disney magic setting you free. Like, honestly, yes, you got divorced over a burger. Yes, that's like, seems trivial and petty, but realistically, no, it was the magic of Disneyland. As a former Disney PhotoPass, I awkwardly witnessed a lot of divorces. No way, actually. It's almost as if like the fact that it's the happiest place on earth also like curses it, because it's like if you're not the happiest you've ever been while you're at Disneyland, you're just not happy at all. But I'm so happy for you that you were able to get out of that situation. And so, like, I love burgers, but I love them even more now.
hamburger,
God, I want a burger.
burger,
The hotel that I'm staying at and currently like in the bed of has me blocked on Instagram, and I didn't realize until I was staying here. This is why I rarely reach out to brands for collaborations. I don't even think when I have anyone's ever said yes. I just don't really reach out. It's kind of embarrassing. I don't know. I was going to Montreal this weekend and I was like, I'm going to try. I'm going to send a really nice message. Maybe someone will be interested. I don't know. So I sent a message to actually this hotel on Instagram, and it was super nice, super complimentary, like very, like I explained why I thought it would be nice working together. I was just really nice about it. And then I didn't hear back, and they never saw the message. So I looked on their profile. They weren't very active on Instagram. So I was like, okay, they didn't see it. They weren't very active on Instagram. I'm going to try calling. Just try. And I called, again, had a really nice conversation with a girl. She said, like, the manager would call me back, whatever, and they didn't. And that's fine. I left it, obviously. And I ended up booking this hotel because it was cute and it was a good price. Fast forward to staying in this hotel. Try to take a photo of the bed and breakfast. I can't find their account. I go to the message I sent them, click on their profile, and there's nothing there. So I'm either like, okay, they deleted their account because maybe they just weren't that active, or I'm blocked. And so I had my friend check, and I was blocked. So
oh my God.
My message was really nice, like no pressure kind of message. One of two things happen. They have an anti-spam kind of filter that like just gets rid of any kind of requesty type of thing, but it's kind of weird for a hotel because people like send requesty messages. I don't know, but they have an anti-spam filter and it just blocks automatically. Or they're weird because it's just like a weird response. You can just say nothing or say no sorry. I'm not trying to be like an entitled influencer. I'm not even an influencer. I don't really have a lot of clout or anything. Like, brands aren't clamoring to work with me. But I really thought the worst thing that a company could say is no.
It is not.
And apparently not.
It's apparently
just
not.
Like blocking you.
I mean, based on, you know, that famous story of the girl that like messaged the hotel and then the hotel owner like flipped out and like called her out on social media, there are a lot of business owners that would not be okay with that kind of request. I feel like we all know that by, like, I will never, ever reach out to a hotel and ask for a brand collaboration ever because of that story. Maybe they just threw a little bit of a block party. They're like, this, I'm gonna block her. I don't know. But like, to be fair, reaching out to like any establishment and asking for free stuff is just not, I don't know. You gotta be prepared for that kind of response. First comment is, I wanna be this Delulu. I'm sorry. But like, what would you be bringing to the table? Okay, yeah, that's another valid question. You said yourself, you're not really an influencer. You don't have like a lot of clout. You're just at this point asking for free stuff. It doesn't surprise me. I've blocked people for even less. Sometimes I throw a little block party and I'm like, nope, don't like you, don't like you, don't like you, don't care. If I kind of throw a little block party. I think some places just get tired of being asked for freebies. That's probably the point that they are at, to be honest. Like, it is an epidemic. Yes, it's part of the business of being like an influencer, so to speak. Most of the time, it's probably better if you get like your representation to do it for you. However, I would get really annoyed about people asking me for free too. If I don't know who you are, like, even then, they probably like heard that you called after they ignored your message and they're like,
are you kidding me? Like, I ignored her for a reason. Like, this gotta go.
That's petty of them, but also like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I got a noise complaint. I live in an apartment and I don't know how to respond to it. Yes, I probably should be the bigger person and respond in a respectful, mature way. But one thing about me is if you're gonna be passive aggressive and petty, I can play that game too. To whom it may concern, could you please stop making noises in the early morning or past 11 a.m. at night? There have been noises like a ball/dice or whatever hitting the floor and rolling and re-hitting the floor again and again in the morning, sometimes before 8 a.m. or even earlier. I don't know how to tell this person that you've got the wrong family. My family is possibly the lamest family on earth. My daughters are in bed by 7 p.m. You're not getting a little ball rolling around past 7 p.m. I don't have gambler children at 3 a.m. rolling the dice on our floors. And if my husband or my children are up before 8 a.m. when I am up, they are absolutely getting an earful if they make as much as a peep. I digress. Let's move on. There are playgrounds down there. Could you please make use of other spaces instead of doing those stuff at home or do it in other hours?
Listen, it is one thing to live in like a condo and apartment building and to be living next to someone who like has like loud bass music and like parties and like people screaming. That you can complain about. You can't exactly complain about people just living their lives. It's not something that you can like call in a noise complaint about. Like, imagine you call the cops and you're like, hi, I'd like to make a noise complaint about someone in my building. Yes, I can hear them bouncing a ball very early, like 8 a.m. sometimes. You can't do that. Sounds like this person is being woken up by the fact that you guys are like walking around and doing your thing and living your life. If that is the case, if you care that much and you're getting woken up by, let's say, like I used to live in this tiny, tiny den in like a townhouse and I could hear the people above me walking and it would wake me up at like 5 in the morning. Realistically, what was I supposed to do? Send them a letter that said, can you stop walking? I had to suck it up. And you know what I got? You know what I got? Earplugs. That's what you need. You need earplugs, Betsy.
It has been disturbing my sleep and thus my health for a continuous time before I made myself write this. The first time I was woken up by your noises was last year in the summer with heavy footsteps running around and unpacking and stuff being heavily put on the floor in an early morning at the weekend. Listen, I have had a newborn baby and I know what it feels like for your sleep to be affected, so I can understand that this person is probably at their wit's end. But this is where I'm confused. I've too heard the sound of like somebody dropping jewelry on a bathroom floor is what I've always assumed it was. But it sounds so close to my apartment, like no way. I can't even hear footsteps. I can't hear furniture being moved around or even a vacuum
it's a concrete
upstairs
high-rise
or to my left or right of me. It sounds so close to my home that I'm genuinely like, is it like the concrete foundation structure? It sounds like it could be like crumbling concrete on concrete. Is that a possibility? Are there any construction workers that can confirm? This building is 20 years old and has cracks in it. And again, I totally get that it's really annoying to hear these noises, but like, if it started happening last summer, come talk to me about it last summer. My first reaction was I need to write a response back and give them my phone number. Call me when you hear the sound and I will let you know whether or not I'm home or like what it is, because I can confirm whether or not it is me. Oh crap, my kids were doing XYZ. I'm so sorry. I'll get them to stop immediately. I don't mind. Let's be civil at least. But when you end a complaint with something like this, please be considerate that this is not a house but an apartment and that there are others who live below your flat. Regards, residents living below your flat, unfortunately. I could use those same words back. Please understand that you are living in an apartment and not in a house. If you don't want to hear your neighbors, go get a house. There's over 100 units in my building. So I guess this is where I have the question. Do I respond in a mature way saying, hey, like, I know you might think this is me, but like, there's no way in hell. I have anyone in my house at those hours doing those things. I could even say, I hear those noises too, and they piss me off too. It's not me, but let's figure out what it is. Let's talk to the building manager together. Or do I be petty and also sign off my letter with resident that lives above your flat, unfortunately? Do I let them know that my children are not gamblers in the making, rolling dice at 3 a.m.? What would you do?
I'd write a funny letter, that's for sure, or I'd completely ignore it. Because what are they gonna do? Like, realistically, what are they going to do about that? Are they gonna call the police on your kids rolling some balls? Give me a break. Suck my... I appreciate your attempt to try and like work it out, but like clearly this person doesn't understand, like you said, that living in an apartment building or a condo building, you're gonna hear other people. And unfortunately, that is the reality. We need to be used to the idea that we're gonna hear other people, okay? We don't live in like a soundproofed little cell. We're gonna hear other people. Is this your first day on Earth? Like, what do you mean? Get some earplugs. If you respond, there's just gonna be an all-out war. There's just gonna be like a passive-aggressive note-passing competition. And then maybe they'll take the broomstick and just be like... I think in this case, no response is the best and pettiest response. Don't dignify them with an answer because it's stupid as f.
This message is for Tamika at Ozio Dry Cleaners in West Palm Beach. Hey, hope you're enjoying my $3,000 Saint Laurent catsuit that is missing and it's nowhere to be found and it's been 6 weeks since I dropped it off. Yeah, how are you liking the catsuit? Yeah.
A lot, I would assume.
I'm just patiently waiting for my $3,000 refund so that I can go not purchase it because they don't have my size anywhere anymore. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. If you see this while you're ignoring my calls, just know that a lawsuit's coming from the Better Business Bureau.
Oh, period,
because that
yeah.
was my favorite article of clothing of all time.
Oh my goodness, I found it. Oh, where, like, that's so weird. I didn't realize that it was there. I feel like this happens a lot. I once like put a bunch of dresses like into dry cleaning and like went home after I picked some of it up and realized, oh, like these dresses are not here. I had to like cross-reference photos in my camera roll. Like, no, wait, I did wear that and I did get it dry cleaned like right after and I had to go there and just show her. Then and only then did she find the dresses, my goodness. It's always your best stuff that you leave there too, right? Because it's like, it's too nice to like wash it yourself. Something tells me she's somehow going to find it after this video gets posted. Tamika, this video is for you. Our neighbors decided to plug a guitar into an amp at 2 a.m., so we had to remind them how thin the walls are at 6 a.m. See, and this is how you do it. This is how you do it. That is a complaint. That right there is a reasonable complaint. Oh, that's loud. Oh, that's loud. Oh, nice, because there's vents in there. Great, yep. Oh, good, 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 good. That's how you do it. And that, my friends, is how it's done. Because realistically, sometimes people don't understand how thin the walls are, okay? Like, you don't know until you hear it, until you hear someone else doing it. And the only way to let them know is to show them exactly how thin the walls are. How did you curate the perfect list of songs most likely to make you throat punch someone? You did. Like, you literally picked some of the worst music. If someone woke me up at 6 a.m. playing Shake It Off, I might actually come out swinging. Well, maybe you shouldn't be plugging your guitars into amps at 2 a.m. Why not just call for a noise disturbance? Well, this is much more fun. Subscribe!